What's up, guys? This is Precious Stick. Welcome back. Today we're going to be comparing the 4-3 versus the 3-4 when it comes to run defense, and we're also going to be taking a look at Blockshed, how it impacts your run defense, where you should be maybe putting Blockshed on your defensive line, maybe even the linebackers. So in this first example, we're running 4-3 normal, cover 3 sky press. I'm doing nothing to it, and I'm just running I-form tight, and we're running the power O. We're doing nothing to any of these plays. And right now on the defensive line, we have 4 down linemen that all have 80 Blockshed. These are all the regular starters for the Seattle Seahawks right now on the game, minus Cliff Averill because he's hurt. And these are the better rated players that have 80 Blockshed. And I'm just running stock plays against it and seeing how they hold up. And it seems to be pretty standard run defense for the most part. Michael Bennett's getting his Blocksheds, and I lowered his Blockshed to 80. And he's just block shedding the tight end every single time. Now, I'm assuming that's because he has higher block shed versus the tight end's run block. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind when you're comparing guys and trying to figure out where you should run the ball to. You know, maybe look at where you have high rated run block players and they have lower rated block shed players, because the block shed is, in my opinion, the most important stat when stopping the run. You know, speed plays a role. I'm sure possibly strength. I'm not sure if strength really plays a role like they say it does. But for the most part, it's all about the block shed, getting off their blocks, shedding them, and then getting to the ball carrier. I ran through a few plays. The biggest thing that stood out to me was the halfback dive and the halfback stretch worked well. And it didn't really seem like it mattered who was out there. Again, this is 80 Blockshed guys. The 99 Blockshed guys I will be subbing into the game here in a few seconds. But we're just trying out all the different run plays that people primarily run online. We're going to take a look at the halfback wham in this video, and there might be some wham defense that came from this video actually. But here we're subbing in the 4 99 Blockshed guys, and these are all the backups for the starters. So again, I did not touch any other stats for these guys. So these guys are lower rated. They're not as good overall as the other players. And as you see there, 2 guys just Blockshed. As soon as I got the ball for most of these runs, they just were there waiting for me, Blockshed every time. Now I know Michael Bennett was block shedding in the one with the 80 Blockshed, but you know, now we have multiple people block shedding, and it seems pretty clear to me that if you can get a 99 Blockshed guy, or just anybody with a higher Blockshed than what you have, you're going to have more success in stopping the running game for certain runs. Now here we're taking a look at the halfback dive, and as you can see, you know, that's a pretty good pickup against a D-line that has 99 Blockshed. And that seemed to be the case, you know, with the 80 Blockshed line, with the 99 Blockshed line. It didn't really matter because the halfback dive, I don't know if it's the way that they program the game, but it just, as long as you have a lead blocker in the halfback dive, it doesn't really seem like it matters who's on your O-line or who's on their D-line. And I'm also going to say the same about the halfback stretch. Those are 2 runs that you could build a whole scheme around, running the dive and the stretch, and it doesn't matter who they got on the line or who you got on the line. Because I'm not really sure why there's not many Blocksheds with the halfback dive with a lead blocker. And for the halfback stretch, you know, you're just stretching the field. It's primarily your running back getting outside of the defense. So maybe speed would be more important in stopping a halfback stretch than anything else. But in here, I'm running the dive to show that it doesn't really work that well if you do not have a lead blocker. Even if you ran that dive against 80 Blockshed guys, the game sometimes this year, you'll have a big hole, and then all of a sudden they just Blockshed. And it could be a 60 overall D tackle. It doesn't really matter. But if you have a lead blocker there, it makes all the difference in the world. So I believe I'm getting ready to show you the halfback wham. And the only thing I did with the halfback, no, actually I did nothing with the halfback wham. I just had ran the halfback wham stock. I did no shifting of the line, and I did nothing for the defense. I did not touch anything with it. And the wham just gets blown up every time out of the cover 3 sky. And I think something that people are struggling with is stopping this wham. And it's pretty, you know, everybody runs it online. And a lot of the times people have trouble stopping the wham because they're running a 3-4 or they're using their middle linebacker or calling a cover 2 and dropping that man in a deep blue. You know, there I wasn't even user controlling the middle linebacker like I usually do, and he was just blowing up the play every single time. So that may be something to keep in mind. If you're struggling against the wham, maybe just come out of a cover 3 or a cover 4 or any defense and just get off your middle linebackers. Let the computer run in there and blow it up. And I see that I find that there's more success out of the 4-3 than there is a 3-4 in stopping the run this year. I've always been a 3-4 guy, but this year I've switched to the 4-3 for the first time in probably 7 to 8 years playing Madden. That's just how strongly I feel that the 4-3 is better. Now here, we're running the 3-4. We went out and we changed playbooks. We got the 3-4. And what I did for this example was I put in 80 Blockshed guys for the D-line, and we got all 99 Blockshed guys for the 4 linebackers. And, you know, in my opinion, the 3-4 can be good, but I primarily play salary cap, and it just seems to be expensive. I feel like if you're going to have a good 3-4, you got to have you realistically got to have 7 guys that are good in stopping the run. Whereas in the 4-3, I just feel like it's primarily your 4-down lineman. In the 3-4, I feel like it's all 7 in my opinion. But in these examples, yeah, some of the linebackers are block shedding well. Like right here, he block shedded the wide receiver, which he should. But then in this example here, I run the exact same play, and Eli Rogers blocks a 99 block shed guy down the field. So I don't think the 3-4 is better than the 4-3 in stopping the running game. I think the 4-3 is where you should go, and I feel like it's going to be cheaper overall, and I feel like it's going to be cheaper on your salary cap team as well. So here I'm running the wham, and the cover 3 Sky is also doing a pretty decent job out of the 3-4, but it was just way better out of the 4-3 because Bobby Wagner was just blowing it up. So I guess to wrap up this video, I would go with a 4-3 if you're having trouble stopping the run. You can make a 3-4 work certainly, but I think the 4-3 is easier. It's a lot simpler. It's not as complex as the 3-4 in stopping the run, and I think you're going to have better success. And you need to have guys with high block shed if you want to stop the run. That's pretty clear. But if someone's running a halfback dive and halfback stretch, it's a whole nother ball game. If they're running the dive with the lead blocker, you know, it's all about you blowing it up, in my opinion. And as far as a stretch, you need some speed to get to the outside and not let them get outside with the running back. So that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. Until next time, guys, peace out.